What's up, Second Rippers? If you've been anywhere around the Lorcana community lately, you've heard the noise around Fabled. Production cuts, no reprints, prices climbing at a crazy rate. So today I want to break down what's actually happening with the set, where the market's going, and what you should be doing if you want to get in. So let's get into it. So Fabled was the 9th set release for Disney Lorcana, and it kicked off the card game's 3rd year. Ravensburger positioned this as a celebration set, kind of a reset, if you will, a milestone moment for Lorcana. But here's the thing, it was a reprint heavy set. 80% of the cards were taken from the 8 sets from earlier. Only 33 brand new cards were in it. That's it. Now to balance it out, they did introduce 2 brand new rarity types, Epic and Iconic. Those became big chase cards for the set, and we'll come back to those in a minute because they matter a lot for where we are today. But it really turned it off to some of the actual players of the game. When Fabled launched, the reviews genuinely were all over the place, and I think it's worth understanding why. It really gives us an insight of who this set was made for. Veterans and active players, they weren't thrilled. This was a set that came out with no new gameplay mechanics, and with 80% of the cards being reprints from earlier sets, it really didn't give them much to go off of in buying booster boxes themselves. A lot of these players figured out pretty quickly that if they wanted a specific card from the set, just go and buy that card individually. It's going to save you a lot of time and headache from opening all of those packs. Now, on the flip side, newcomers and collectors loved the set, and honestly, it makes sense. If you're new to Lorcana, Fabled gave you a shot at cards that you might have missed from earlier sets. You had epic and iconic chase cards on the table for the first time ever, and Ravensburger brought a Goofy movie and demo into the card pool for the first time, which was a huge play for Disney, for Disney's collector crowd. So you had a real split right at launch. One group calling it a skip, the other group calling it the most interesting set Lorcana had put out. And that tension, that split reception, is part of why what happened next is so interesting. Here's where Fable gets really interesting. About a week before the launch, multiple game stores started reporting that their pre-order allocations had been cut. Some were cut significantly, some were canceled altogether. Stores genuinely had no idea how much of the new product they were going to get, if any. And here's the kicker. Ravensburger had not publicly confirmed any of this. There's no officially published print run for Fabled, and they just decided to not weigh in on the topic at all. So what started circulating through the community was that there was an 80% production cut on Fabled. That number spread through forums, Lorcana groups, all across the internet. And I want to be really clear here, that number has never been verified. It's a rumor, a widely repeated rumor, but still a rumor. So the question becomes, why would they cut production this hard if it's actually what happened? And the most likely explanation that the community has landed on is pretty straightforward. Ravensburger likely overproduced earlier sets, specifically Into the Inklings and Ursula's Return. So those sets left distributors with sitting on unsold product. Nobody really wanted that, so the theory is that Ravensburger made a deliberate cut to Fabled production to avoid repeating that issue going forward. Now, whether the cut was 80% or some other number, we genuinely don't know. What we do know is that allocations got slashed last minute, stores were left in the dark, and the supply that hit the market was clearly limited. And when you combine that with a set that already had brand new chase rarities such as Iconics and Epics, you've got a recipe for exactly what we're seeing in the secondary market right now, which is what I want to talk about next. All right, so let's bring this all back to where we are today. You've got the alleged production cuts at launch, and now on top of that, there's rumors that Fabled isn't going to be reprinted at all. So you put those two things together, and sealed product and singles are starting to make some pretty big jumps on the secondary market right now. So today there's very little Fabled actually available. And this is where I want to give you my honest take of what you should buy if you want to get into it right now. So if we look at the Fabled booster boxes, I feel like these are pretty high risk at this point. The price of these just continues to go up, and you really don't know where they're coming from. So this could have been a booster box that was pulled from a case that had already had the enchanted or the iconic hit, and you're going to be drastically reducing your odds of pulling that chase card, even though you're getting a sealed box. So these, I see, you know, the most recent sale here is $586. Most of these are listed for anywhere between $600 and $800. It's not a great way to spend your money if you're really trying to get the chase cards, the iconics, those Mickeys and Minis. So if you have the money, I think the way to go is to try and get into a booster box. You're obviously going to be paying a premium here. Obviously 4 booster boxes doesn't add up to that almost $3,500 price tag. But what you get with that little extra increase is going to be knowing that this is untouched, knowing that the true odds are going to be within the case. Most recent sale here, $3,000. A lot of these have been going up quite a bit lately. So, you know, the best point to buy was probably yesterday. The next best point is going to be today. Interestingly enough, what I've kind of seen lately through just the community, whether it's on Reddit, Discord, any type of forum for Lorcana, even Facebook, is the Troves have been going off lately. So even these, you know, it looks like most recent sale here, $370, some listed for $340. You know, a couple days ago I looked and there weren't even any sealed Troves available. So it's nice to see that some of this product is coming back on the market, but you're getting 8 packs in here, and just through, you know, anecdotally, people are saying that, you know, their pull rates within the Troves have been pretty solid. So it's a better price point to get in at. You're getting obviously less packs, but, you know, based on word of mouth, it's maybe something a little bit better, you know, odds wise. Funnily enough, the starter decks, even though you're only getting 1 pack, people have been claiming that, you know, they've been pulling some iconics out of here as well. So some people that we've talked through, you know, Facebook Marketplace, some of those interactions, that's where they were pulling some of the iconics that we have been asking about. So this might not be a bad place to start. You know, generally you can find these for between $20 and $40. So a little bit better. Obviously you're only getting 1 pack out of it, but you know, you are getting a starter deck. So if it's something where you want to actually play the game, you know, it's not a terrible place to start. So that's kind of where I'd put my money if I were trying to get into Fabled today. You know, if money's no object, I would definitely try and jump into the case, and maybe even not even open it, just hold on to it and see where it goes in the next few months, and, you know, maybe try to resell it at a later point. So yeah, it's a very interesting market for this set, and, you know, as time goes on, it's only going to get more interesting. So it's something to keep an eye on. So as things change, come back and check in, because we'll keep you updated.